Hello, class. Welcome to week 5 of the marketing course. This week, we're going to be talking about marketing channels and supply chains. And this is how you track how your product travels from the factory floor to the front door of your consumer. Some things you'll be learning in this module are defining what a marketing channel is and why businesses are intermediaries instead of selling directly, comparing direct versus indirect channel types and explaining when each strategy makes the most sense, identifying key channel intermediaries, agents, wholesalers, retailers, and distributors, and what role each one plays. Describe the supply chain management and its key components from raw materials all the way to the final customer. And then explain any channel conflicts, cooperation, and power dynamics and why managing relationships in a channel matter. So what are marketing channels? So this is the road from the producer to the consumer. How does a pair of Nike shoes go from a factory in Vietnam to your feet? So first, the marketing channel is a set of organizations that help move a product from producer to final consumer, the complete pathway from creation to hands. This is also called the distribution channel or channel of distribution. This is the same concept with different names. Marketers use all three interchangeably. Why do these matter? Why do channels matter? Because producers would need to reach millions of customers on their own without channels. So it would be completely impossible if you choose to do global marketing, even if you were to choose just within our nation. An individual company cannot take their product from one end of the country, let's say from California, all the way to New York without utilizing marketing channels. A key function of marketing channels is to bridge the gap between production and consumption, creating time, place, and possession utility for every product sold. And what is the different types of marketing channels? What's the difference between direct versus indirect channels? So a direct channel would mean that the product moves from whoever produces the product directly to the consumer. There are no intermediaries involved. The producer sells straight to the buyer. The producer controls the entire experience, so from pricing, branding, and service. Some examples of this are Dell Computers Online, farmers markets, Warburg Parker direct to consumer, band selling merch at concerts. This is best for complex, customized, or high margin products. And indirect channels uses the producer. It includes the producer plus intermediaries, and then those intermediaries help to get the product to the consumer. You can use one or more middlemen between the producer and buyer. It's a wider market reach at lower cost per transaction. So an example of the question in the beginning, how does Nike get their products to the consumer? Nike, you get the producer creates the product at Nike, sends it to Foot Locker, and then sends it to you. Then there's another example with Frito-Lay. Frito-Lay gets it to the grocery store or a place like Walmart, and then the customer can get it from there. These are best for mass market consumer goods needing broad distribution. So it could be an indirect path example would be producer, wholesaler, retailer, and consumer. This it describes some of the middlemen that are included as intermediaries in indirect marketing. So you have your agents and brokers, which bring buyers and sellers together, never own the product, and then they earn a commission on each deal. This can include examples are real estate agents, food brokers, and also they could also be um, salespeople that come door to door. Wholesalers are those that buy in bulk from the producers and then sell smaller quantities to retailers. They provide storage and break bulk services. So this can be Costco Wholesale Division or US Foods. Retailers sell directly to end consumers. They add convenience and variety, and they're the final link before the customer. Examples are Target, Amazon, your local grocery store. Then we have the distributors, which are specialized wholesalers that hold exclusive territory rights and then manage inventory and logistics. So any beverage distributors for Pepsi. A key insight is that intermediaries reduce the number of transactions needed. If there's 4 producers and then there's 4 consumers, that equals 16 transactions in a um, direct marketing channel. But with one intermediary, that breaks it down to only 8 transactions. Fewer contacts equals lower cost, faster delivery, and more efficiency. How do companies choose their channel? There are 3 core channels design strategies from maximum reach to maximum control. So intensive distribution equals maximum exposure everywhere. So you want your product to be within the entire reach of the globe. This is available in as many outlets as possible. The goal is to put the product within arm's reach of every potential buyer. No location is off limits. Works best for low cost, high frequency, everyday purchases where convenience is king. So you think about Coca-Cola, Snickers, phone chargers, gum, and candy. Selective distribution is a curated reach with protected images, and these are sold through a limited number of chosen outlets. Companies balance wide reach with brand image. Only authorized, qualified retailers carry the product. Builds perceived quality while still achieving solid market coverage. So this could be KitchenAid, Levi's, Apple, authorized resellers, and then of course Bose. Exclusive distribution shows prestige through scarcity. Only one or very few outlets in a given area. Used for luxury and ultra premium products where exclusivity is part of the brand's value. Retailers gain sole rights in a territory. Brands gain tight control over experience and pricing. This includes Rolex, Ferrari, Louis Vuitton, and Lamborghini. So this little timeline or line describing the coverage is how intensive these companies choose to distribute their products. So if they want it to go to a wider population, they would use the intensive distribution. If they want to just make a selective group, you'll use the selective distribution. But if you want to make sure that your product is only sold to a specific demographic or a specific lifestyle or those with a specific um, salary wage, you want to use a very tighter control on that with the exclusive distribution. This is the process of supply chain management, getting the right product to the right place at the right time efficiently. So you have your raw materials. They give an example: cotton fields grown for denim fabric, natural resources harvested or extracted from the earth. Then you have your suppliers and manufacturing. Raw materials are transformed into finished goods. Factory cuts and sews cotton into jeans. Warehouse and storage, finished goods held safely until they are needed. Distribution center in Columbus, Ohio. They have transportation and logistics. The goods are moved from warehouses to retail locations. This could be trucks, rail lines, air or cargo carriers. Then it gets to your retail and consumer. This is the final delivery. Product reaches the end user, and that's you buying the jeans at the mall. The supply chain management goal is to maximize customer value while minimizing costs. This is the right product, right place, right time. Supply chain versus marketing channel. Is there a difference? So the supply chain is the production and procurement of the product. Focuses on production and procurement, moves raw materials to finished goods. Internal and upstream focus involves suppliers, manufacturers, and logistics. The goal is efficiency and cost reduction. Think, how do we make and move it? For marketing channels, this is the selling and distribution. Focuses on selling and distribution to customers, moves finished goods to end users. External and downstream focus involves wholesalers, retailers, and agents, and their goal is market coverage and customer access. Think, how do we sell and deliver it? So these supply chain management and marketing channels do overlap. And this chart shows how they go through the process. Logistics, the engine of physical distribution. Moving and storing products is a massive business. So right now, $2.3 trillion is used for U.S. logistics industry and their annual revenue. 8 to 10% of a product cost goes to logistics on average. There's 5 modes of transportation: truck, rail, air, water, and water pipeline. Usually 1 to 2 days. Consumer delivery expectation, the Amazon effect. There are 5 transportation modes, trade-offs at a glance. So a truck is flexible and most common. Rail, heavy built, cost effective. Air is fast but expensive. Water is the cheapest, although it's the slowest. And then pipeline, specialized. The pipeline would be your gas and oil products. Key insight: logistics decisions directly affect price, availability, and customer satisfaction, and every choice has a cost and speed trade-off. So right now, in this political environment and climate, we are experiencing an increase in gas prices. But that is because the pipeline, which is the mode of transportation for gas and oil, currently we have some issues, political issues happening overseas in Iran. So right now that's blocking the pipeline of oil, which is going to increase the prices for consumers here in the United States. Oops, I'm sorry about that. What happens when the system breaks down, when there's channel conflict? So there are different types of conflict in a marketing channel. So there's horizontal conflict, which can happen between the same level members. An example of this would be 2 retailers competing in the same territory or market area, undercutting each other's prices. Then there's vertical conflict between 2 different channel levels. An example could be a producer clashing with a retailer over pricing strategy, margins, or territory controls. A real-world example is when Nike pulled its products from Zappos when pricing disagreements arose, a textbook case of vertical channel conflict over brand control. Channel power sources. There's coercive power, threatening to cut off supply or end a partnership. This forces compliance through fear of loss. Reward power, offering discounts, bonuses, and incentives to encourage cooperation and preferred behavior from partners. Expert power, sharing proprietary knowledge or market data the partner needs, creates dependency through information advantage. Referent powers, brand strength pulls partners in. Retailers want to carry you because your brand drives consumer demand. Building channel cooperation is managing conflict through clear communication, well-defined contracts, and shared goals transforms tension into partnership, the foundation of long-term channel success. This slide describes the journey of a bag of Doritos, and you can trace every step in the channel and supply chain. So your supply chain starts with raw materials, manufacturing, warehousing, then it moves on to transporting, and then goes into your marketing channel, your retail stores, and then of course the consumer, which is you. Now, some key takeaways, what every marketer needs to know about getting products to people. You need to know about your marketing channel, direct versus indirect marketing. Are there going to be intermediaries that add value? What distribution intensity are you using? Supply chain management. And then, of course, being aware of the channel power and conflicts that may occur. Great marketing doesn't stop at the product. It follows it all the way to the customer. And this is the end of our Module 8. If you have any questions or would like to discuss anything that has been presented in this module further, please feel free to reach out to me through email. And have a great evening.